A single moment can change the entire course of a life. One step taken with awareness opens doors that remain forever closed to those who wait. This is why I say to you today, time is not only the clock on your wall or the dates written on your calendar. There is another clock, a hidden one, ticking quietly inside your body, mind, and spirit. Ignore it, and one day you will feel the weight of missed chances, the sting of regret. September 13th stands before you not only as a date, but as a threshold. It is a reminder that delay is the enemy of mastery. Those who postpone, those who say tomorrow will find tomorrow, never truly arrives. In this teaching, I will reveal why inner time is the most urgent time, why the Shaolin path warns against hesitation, and how to sharpen awareness before life passes you by. In this journey together, you will learn the difference between discipline and mere effort, how stillness becomes a weapon against chaos, why your body is the first temple of wisdom, and how simple daily rituals can transform weakness into power. You will also hear of the dangers of imbalance, the necessity of facing the shadow within, and the silent freedom that comes only when you let go of what no longer serves you. These lessons are not common sayings. They are drawn from ancient Shaolin principles, lived and tested for centuries by those who walked the warrior's path. Stay with me until the very end, for each step builds on the last, and only then will the full picture reveal itself. I am Shi Heng Yi, and I welcome you to Shaolin Soulfire. Join this path of awakening by subscribing now, so you never walk alone. There is a prison more powerful than iron bars, and most people live inside it without even knowing. It is the prison of impulse, the chains of distraction, and the endless chasing of comfort. Many believe that freedom means doing whatever you feel, whenever you feel it. But this is not freedom, it is slavery to the restless mind. In the Shaolin tradition, discipline is not punishment, and it is not control forced upon you by another. Discipline is the decision to take the path of mastery, step by step, no matter how heavy the stone or how steep the climb. When a monk rises before dawn, bows in silence, and begins the first form of the day, he does not see it as a restriction. He sees it as the sharpening of the blade, the unlocking of a hidden door inside himself. Without discipline, the future is stolen moment by moment. A distracted man may sit for years speaking of his dreams, but his strength fades, his clarity dulls, and his life drifts like a boat without a rudder. The disciplined man, though walking through the same storms, directs his vessel toward the shore with steady hands. Shaolin masters teach that the body becomes light through repetition, the mind becomes clear through focus, and the spirit becomes unshakable through commitment. This is why discipline is freedom. It frees you from weakness, from the trap of hesitation, from the regret that comes when years pass and nothing has been built. The chains that people fear are in truth the keys to liberation. The form, the bow, the breath, each practiced again and again, is not a cage. It is the path out of the cage, the only way to step beyond limitation and live without regret. There is a silence that grows heavier than stone, the silence of gifts left unawakened. Many fear failure, but failure at least means you tried. You stretched your hand towards something beyond your reach. The true burden is carried by those who never attempt, who keep their strength hidden, waiting for a better time that never comes. The ancients often spoke of the sword. A blade, no matter how finely forged, will rust if it is left untouched in its sheath. Potential within the human spirit is no different. Courage, discipline, creativity, and clarity, these are living forces. They require movement, they require expression. Without action, they decay slowly until one day you wake and find them gone. In Shaolin teaching, every breath is a chance to strengthen this inner blade. When you rise in the morning and bow to the day, you remind yourself that energy unused is energy lost. A body left idle grows weak, a mind left unfocused becomes restless, and a spirit left unattended begins to doubt its own light. Each small act of discipline, standing tall, breathing deeply, training with intention, keeps the sword polished, ready, alive. The tragedy is not that people lack strength. The tragedy is that they carry strength within them and choose not to use it. They wait for certainty, for perfect conditions, for sign that never appears, and in that waiting, their blade rusts. The masters would say, better to strike and miss, better to stumble and rise, than to let the years dissolve what was once sharp and powerful. Unused potential is the heaviest burden, because it whispers of what could have been. To lift this weight, one must step forward now, not later, and place inner strength into the world before it fades into silence. In the noise of the world, many believe power is measured by speed, by how much noise you can create, by how fast you can move ahead of others. Yet in the Shaolin way, true mastery is not found in motion without purpose, but in the silence that steadies every step. Stillness is not weakness, it is the invisible weapon that cuts through confusion. A warrior who cannot be still is like a horse running wild, strong but directionless. In meditation, Shaolin monks train not merely to quiet the mind, but to sharpen it. They sit in silence, letting thoughts rise and fade, until the surface of the mind becomes like a calm lake. From this calm, clarity is born. Decisions are no longer rushed or clouded. Action flows with precision, not with panic. When storms of emotion come, anger, fear, doubt, stillness is the shield. Without it, a single word can throw you into conflict. A single setback can break your resolve. But with stillness, you see beyond the storm. You act not because the world provokes you, but because your inner compass directs you. This is why stillness is mastery. It makes you the master of yourself before you seek to master anything outside. The ancient teachers knew that without stillness, even great effort leads only to exhaustion. Noise without silence, action without pause, creates regret. But when movement rises from stillness, it carries the force of nature itself, like the arrow released after the bow is held steady, like the wave that rises only after the ocean's deep stillness gathers it. To cultivate stillness is to hold a hidden blade within the heart, one that no chaos can dull, one that strikes only when the moment is true. The body is often treated as a tool, something to be pushed when needed and ignored when it grows tired. Yet in the ancient Shaolin tradition, the body is not a servant of the mind, it is the temple through which awareness awakens. Every breath, every step, every movement is an expression of spirit. To neglect the body is to dim the light of the mind. When posture collapses, thoughts grow heavy. When breath is shallow, clarity fades. When health is ignored, the spirit becomes restless. The masters understood this deeply, which is why every form of training, from martial movement to seated meditation, begins with respect for the body. A bowed head, a straight spine, a steady breath. These are not only physical acts, they are gateways to presence. The disciplined body does not chase extremes. It is strengthened but not abused. It is rested but not left idle. In Shaolin practice, the muscles carry memory, the breath carries rhythm, and together they shape the state of the mind. A calm body teaches patience. A strong body gives courage. An aligned body allows the spirit to flow without resistance. Stories tell of monks who could sit unmoving for hours, their bodies like mountains, while their awareness expanded like the sky. Their mastery was not in denial of the body, but in uniting with it so completely that no distraction could disturb them. Through such training, the mind becomes clear, not because it forces itself into silence, but because the body has prepared the ground for peace. To walk the path of mastery is to treat the body as sacred. In each gesture, in each breath, you either honor or neglect the temple, and in honoring it you sharpen awareness, align spirit, and open the way to true clarity. The smallest actions carry the greatest truths. In the Shaolin path, no gesture is too ordinary. No breath too simple to be overlooked. To walk, to eat, to sit, even to drink a cup of water, each becomes training. For the way you do these small things reveals the way you face life itself. Monks are taught that sweeping the floor is no different from practicing a powerful form. Both require presence, both demand attention. If the broom is moved carelessly, the mind grows careless. If the step is taken without awareness, the path itself becomes uncertain. This is why the saying endures: how you do one thing is how you do everything. Carelessness is a seed that grows quickly. A person who neglects the little details of life will struggle when faced with great challenges. But one who trains awareness in small daily movements builds an unshakable foundation. The hand that learns to hold a teacup with balance will one day hold a sword with precision. The breath that is calm during quiet moments will remain steady in the storm. Mindfulness is not only for meditation cushions or temple halls. It is for the moment you tie your shoes, the way you open a door, the rhythm of your steps as you cross a street. Each act is a mirror, showing you whether your mind is scattered or centered. The ancient masters knew that discipline is built in silence, in the unnoticed moments. When attention fills every movement, life itself becomes practice. There is no wasted gesture, no empty breath, and when great trials come, the one who has lived with care in the smallest things will already hold the strength to meet the greatest with calm and mastery. There's a battle that few see, yet it is fought every day within every soul. The fiercest enemy does not stand across the field. It whispers from within. Fear, anger, doubt, and old habits stir like shadows, quiet but persistent, shaping thoughts and decisions without notice. Many spend their lives fleeing this unseen enemy, only to find it waiting, stronger, at every turn. Shaolin masters teach that true strength begins by facing this shadow, to confront laziness when the body cries for comfort, to temper anger when the mind burns with irritation, to still distraction when it tugs at attention. These are the victories that form real mastery. Each small confrontation is a step toward freedom. Each moment of self-awareness, a strike against the chaos within. The path is not easy. The shadow resists. It knows every weakness, every fear you hide from, every thought you refuse to examine. Yet ignoring it does not diminish its power. It grows quietly, shaping regrets, clouding clarity, and stealing potential. The masters often said, the wounds left by inner neglect cut deeper than any loss faced in the world. Discipline in this inner battle is a silent force. A monk may sit in meditation for hours, confronting nothing but the restless mind, and emerge victorious, carrying peace and focus into every movement afterward. This is why inner combat is revered above all external contests. Outward victories are fleeting, but the mastery of one's own shadow brings lasting freedom. To face the shadow is to walk steadily into discomfort, to observe without fear, and to act with courage. Each act of awareness, each small moment of control, strengthens the mind as surely as training strengthens the body. In the end, the greatest reward is clarity, calm, and the knowledge that no shadow can dominate a disciplined spirit. The simplest acts, repeated with intention, hold the power to shape a life. In Shaolin tradition, every day begins and ends with rituals, bowing, breathing, training, not to impress others, not for recognition, but to cultivate the self. Each gesture, repeated with care, carves strength into the mind, body, and spirit, far deeper than any single act of effort could achieve. Rituals are the unseen architecture of mastery. A monk may rise before dawn, sweep the hall, and perform the same form hundreds of times. To an outsider, it appears monotonous, even trivial. Yet each repetition is a lesson in patience, precision, and presence. The small acts train focus, discipline, and resilience, teaching the practitioner to move with calm intention even in moments of chaos. This principle extends beyond the temple walls. Daily habits, how one greets the morning, how one breathes in moments of tension, how one completes even the simplest tasks become the invisible forces that shape character. A careless routine creates weakness, a mind scattered, a body unprepared, but a ritual performed with attention strengthens, centers, and refines the spirit. The ancients understood that transformation does not come from sudden bursts of effort, but from consistent mindful practice. Like water wearing down stone, small actions repeated shape the course of a life. Each ritual, no matter how minor it seems, either binds you to your old patterns or lifts you closer to mastery. To embrace daily ritual is to honor the quiet power of consistency. It is to commit to oneself, to sharpen the inner edge with every breath, every bow, every deliberate movement. Over time, the small, unseen acts accumulate, until the life they create is no longer ordinary, but shaped by discipline, clarity, and enduring strength. There is a subtle force that governs all mastery, one that is often overlooked by those who chase power through sheer effort or force. The Shaolin path teaches that true strength is born not from excess, but from balance. A tree grows tall not by bending to one side, but by allowing roots and branches to find harmony with the wind, the sun, and the earth. Balance in life mirrors this principle. Softness must temper strength, for rigidity alone breaks under pressure. Effort must be paired with rest, for relentless motion consumes energy without wisdom. Silence and speech must dance together, for words without thought scatter influence, and silence without expression breeds isolation. Every act, every decision is an opportunity to find equilibrium. Shaolin monks train not only in combat but in rhythm, movement and stillness, tension and release, exertion and ease. Their forms are not simply sequences of power, they are lessons in timing, control and awareness. A punch delivered without balance will falter, a kick thrown without center will miss. Life operates the same way. A mind that swings between extremes, a heart that tilts too far toward attachment or fear, drains energy and invites regret. The masters understood that imbalance is invisible at first. Small indulgences, slight neglects, unchecked emotion, they accumulate quietly until one day the spirit feels heavy, the body strained, and opportunity slips unnoticed. But cultivating balance is subtle alchemy. It strengthens without strain, focuses without force, and allows the spirit to flow freely, untouched by chaos. To walk the path of balance is to honor the natural rhythm within and around you. It is to measure action with awareness, to temper ambition with patience, and to move through life with centered clarity. In this equilibrium lies true power, calm, resilient, and unshakable by the storms of the world. There is a weight that clings to the spirit, often unnoticed, yet heavy enough to bend even the strongest back. It is the weight of attachment, grasping at pain, clinging to pride, clutching the outcomes we cannot control. The Shaolin path teaches that to carry this weight is to slow the heart and cloud the mind. True mastery lies not in holding, but in letting go. Monks practice release in every moment. They let go of yesterday's regrets, of the bitterness that lingers after conflict, of the desire for praise or recognition. Each act of release is a training in freedom, teaching that what is lost is no longer ours to bear, and that holding tightly only brings suffering. Pain is experienced, lessons are learned, but the spirit remains unburdened, moving lightly through the world. Letting go does not mean weakness or surrender. It is a deliberate choice, born of awareness and discipline. Pride, once relinquished, opens the mind to humility and clarity. Outcomes once released allow action to flow without fear or expectation. In this space, every movement becomes precise, every decision free from the pull of unseen chains. The energy once trapped in clinging now fuels purpose, focus, and presence. The masters tell stories of monks who carried nothing but their breath, their forms, and their awareness. They were not empty. They were full of life, ready for whatever arose, undisturbed by loss or desire. Regret, they say, grows from the hands that refuse to open, the hearts that grasp what is no longer theirs. To master letting go is to walk with lightness and clarity. It is to carry only what strengthens the spirit and release all else without hesitation. In this practice, freedom is born, and the path forward becomes clear, unburdened, and unshakable. There are days that pass quietly, and there are days that stand at the edge of destiny, waiting for a choice to be made. September 13th is one such day, a threshold, not merely a mark on a calendar, but a symbol of awakening. It asks of those who see it, will you step forward, or will you remain asleep while life moves past? The masters of Shaolin often spoke of such moments. Life presents them rarely, in forms subtle or striking. They are opportunities to break patterns, to sharpen the mind, to awaken the spirit. To wait, to postpone, to tell oneself later, is to surrender the power of the present. Later may never arrive, and what could have been cultivated in one day may be lost forever. This threshold is not about fear, but awareness. It is the quiet urging to train with discipline, to breathe with intention, to move through life with attention. Each breath is a chance to center the mind. Each deliberate action is a step into mastery. Small efforts, repeated now, carry the weight of transformation that tomorrow alone cannot provide. In the temple, monks rise with the first light, bowing to the day as it begins, grounding themselves in presence. This is the essence of the threshold, to meet the moment fully, without distraction, without delay. It is a reminder that time is not measured only by clocks, but by the depth of consciousness brought to each action. To recognize September 13th as a threshold is to honor the flow of life. It is to act now, not later, to train now, not tomorrow, to awaken now, not when comfort permits. In this recognition lies clarity, power, and freedom, the gift of stepping across the line between what has been and what could be, into a life consciously lived. Regret does not come from the world around us, but from the moments we let slip by within ourselves. Every act of discipline, every breath of stillness, every ritual practiced with intention, and every effort to find balance builds a life of clarity, strength, and purpose. Shaolin wisdom reminds us that mastery begins inside, in the small choices we make each day. September 13th is more than a date. It is a reminder to awaken, to step fully into your potential, and to honor the life you are given. Let this be the moment you commit to practice, to presence, and to self-mastery. Begin with one mindful action, one moment of reflection, one effort to align body, mind, and spirit. Each small step brings lasting change. Carry these lessons into your daily life and allow them to guide your choices, shape your habits, and steady your mind. In doing so, you turn ordinary days into a path of growth, clarity, and freedom. May your journey be steady, your mind calm, and your spirit strong. If this teaching resonates, join us on Shaolin Soulfire by liking this video and subscribing. Together, we can walk the path of inner mastery, one mindful moment at a time.